Alright, so with this hand, we want to lead with, I think, Arid Mesa to get the Foundry, because the flagstones can get a plains. Alright, looks like we're up against Dredge. Unfortunately, doesn't have a spirit guide. Would have been nice to chalice for one there. Oh well. No. We are gonna, well, let's see, do we want to chalice for one or do we want to kill his land first? I think I want to chalice for one first. So they can't Faithless Looting. And then next turn we can boom, sacrificing flagstones to kill their land. Alright, discard a Grave Troll. Dredging Stinkweed Imp. Or dredging Grave Troll. Getting Stinkweed Imp. Faithless Looting. Conflagrate. So when you flashback Conflagrate, discard X cards. I guess the mana cost would still be, it would be red XX. So I think they can still flashback Conflagrate, and it will resolve through Chalice. Faithless Looting will get countered though, even if they flash it back. Oh, they missed their land drop. Okay, so they have a big green dude in hand. Cast Boom. Target Flagstones, Copperline Gorge. And we'll get a Sacred Foundry. It's interesting, Magic Online asks you, do you want to pay 2 life? No. Comes into play tapped, but it's still just like, okay. It says get a plains, not basic plains. That's how we got Foundry. Alright, so they drew instead of I thought they had a Stinkweed up in the graveyard. So they did get a land, unfortunately. So here, if we Wrath, they'll just crack their fetch land and get Bloodghast back. If we Nahiri minus our Narcomoeba, then Bloodghast will kill it. They have no dredgers in the graveyard. We could play a Johnny and plus it on a Narcomoeba. Then he could attack Johnny to 1. That's not really making any progress. I think I like Wrathing here. It just gets the Bloodghast back on our end step, attacks with it, and then we can play one of these Planeswalkers next turn. I think that's the better play. Could also just Nahiri and plus it. Nah, we don't want to discard anything yet. Not the most impressive Wrath of God of all time, but kill 2 Narcomoebas. Force them to crack the fetch is kind of an important one too. Because then we could keep the land they fetch tapped with the Johnny. Basic mountain. Interesting. It's not the land I was expecting. Draws another land. Okay. So now they can cast a Narcomoeba. They can conflag it. They're probably conflagrating now. That's probably what it is. Discard all those dredge cards in their hand. Yeah. So they discarded Grave Troll, Stinkweed Imp, Neonate to conflagrate us for 5. Which means they'll be dredging for quite a while, starting with Grave Troll. We have some options here. We could, I think I want to keep this guy tapped or exile him. Okay, so we could just try to race. Man, I don't know which Planeswalker to play. I think I want to exile the Bloodghast. His opponent's just going to dredge on their turn. Then again, plussing gets us closer to, because we plus and then he attacks with Bloodghast. I guess these guys are all going to have haste anyway. Just exile. So we're at 10. We have to gain some life off of Johnny to get out of the range of that. Alright, so he dredges Grave Troll, presumably. Yeah. Finds an Amalgam. Can't do anything with the Grave Troll in hand, though, because there's no Narcomoeba. And we will plus discard a Rugged Prairie, find another Nahiri, land, start getting this guy online, plus opponent has to attack Gideon, not Nahiri, and then opponent probably dredges the other Grave Troll. If you find you can't get a land though, so you can't get a Bloodghast back, so you'd have to hit one of the 2 Narcomoebas, which they do, and they hit another Prized Amalgam. So you're going to get Narcomoeba, and on the end step they're going to get Prized Amalgam. They just have 2 Grave Trolls in hand. Alright, got another Nahiri. So, we have some options. We can go on the offense, which I'm not a huge fan of. I think I want to go on the Emrakul plan. So, the opponent just has 2 dredge cards in hand. We can They have a Dakmor salvage, so they can dredge the Dakmor salvage and play it if they had a Bloodghast. But they don't have any yet, so we exiled the one. They haven't hit another one. We could exile a creature with Nahiri. I don't really like that though. We could exile a creature and then play another Nahiri and plus it. We could play a Johnny, leave one tapped. Jeez. Okay. I want to get all the Planeswalkers on the battlefield. Alright, so I'm going to plus. Discarding Nahiri. And then I will play a Johnny. And I will say Prized Amalgam. It does not tap. And all your creatures have to attack Gideon. So Gideon's going to take 4 damage, presumably. So Dredges. Will they put a Dredge? Dredgeability of Grave Troll. Okay. Alright. So Gideon takes some damage. We could actually just Armageddon now, which maybe, no, we could just virtually Armageddon. Alright, so I will plus Nahiri, discard another Nahiri. And I will say everyone has to attack Gideon. And there is Conflagrate in the graveyard. So this guy doesn't untap. And I guess we will just Armageddon. Cast Bust. Boom. Actually, no, not boom. The opposite. Bust. Busting makes me feel good. Dee 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 dee. Boom busting. Alright, so did I activate everyone? I did. This has been quite the fun game. The next turn we get to Ultimate Nahiri, find Emrakul. So you got 6, 9, yep. Kill the opponent this turn. We do it with Brimaz, it's 4, 10, 13 now. Alright, Emrakul it is. Annihilate 6. Flawless victory! Uh-oh, this is not a flawless victory. Yeah, it is. We just have to use a Johnny to finish you off. So Emrakul hits for 15, then Johnny just 3s you. I guess it won't be flawless victory because they'll have a token. Unless they, yeah. Kill you. That's how you do it. Beat Dredge game 1. Alright, now game 2, I want Ghostly Prison, and I want Rest in Peace. Don't need Defense Grid, don't need Crumble, don't think I need Shining Shoal, but it's reasonable against like Conflagrate. Definitely don't want Stony. So what do I not want? Blood Moon is okay. They have Gargadon, so Anger is only decent, it's not great. Leyline, they can't Conflagrate us. And yeah, which means they can't Conflagrate our Planeswalkers either. So Leyline's fine. Chalice for 1 is pretty reasonable, I think. And yeah, so Blood Moon takes them off a lot of things, but they can still do their primary game plan. The Boom Bust is actually a better land destruction plan because they only usually have a couple lands out. Let's see. Definitely want these. I guess Brimaz can block. He blocks 3/3 Prized Amalgam. What do I want to take out? I'm going to take out 2 more cards. Rest in Peace, even though it's only 2 mana. I mean, I guess we're not chalicing for 2. How important is Chalice? We probably don't need 4 Chalices. We're just trying to Chalice for 1, but it's not like a super integral part of our game plan. I guess it'll counter Nature's Claim if they bring those in. Whatever. We'll just run with it. I don't usually beat Dredge game 1. Usually, unless you're another linear combo deck like Infect, Affinity will sometimes beat it, like Elves. Let's see. Not a great hand against them. Leyline is only marginally effective against them. I guess we'll keep though. On the play, I think we bring the other two chalices back in, because we could Spirit Guide Chalice turn 1. On the draw, we don't really have that play, so it's a little less effective. So our plan next turn is just going to be boom, sack flagstones, kill your land. He's digging. He's dredging. Discarding Ancient Grudge, so it brings in the Grudge. Let's try to deal with our Chalice, I guess. Opponent gets 2 Bloodghasts and a Prized Amalgam. They have another spell. Neonate, okay. They don't have a suspended Gargadon, so Anger would be very good. That card's good too. Trying to play this mountain. Cast Boom. Flagstones, Gorge. And next turn we can Prison. Go with Plains, in case we draw Blood Moon. So we have our colors otherwise. So next turn our plan is Ghostly Prison, and the turn after is Ajani Vengeance, I guess. Leaving their land tapped, more than likely. Yeah. And Ghostly Prison seems pretty powerful. So they dredge and Narcomoeba. Yep. So Conflagrate the graveyard. Prized Amalgam triggers. Attacks for 7. That's just a 13. Ooh, end step, just misses land drop again. Alright. So they can't Conflagrate us because of Leyline of Sanctity. And they have to attack through this Ghost Quarter. So, well, they have an Abrupt Decay in the graveyard. They're a little ways off from that. They dredged a Dakmar Salvage. No, they discarded it. So they could dredge a Dakmar Salvage to get black, which is probably what they'll do at some point. They might just start drawing for the draw step. Looks like that's what they're doing. If they dredge Dakmar Salvage, then at least next turn they could start attacking for 3 each turn, but they might have something better in their hand. Like, if they're holding Abrupt Decay, it'll also get them the black mana, so they'll probably dredge that. So it's probably not Decay, it's probably a Like a Nature's Claim, maybe? Yeah, that's not a legal attack. Oh, Blood Moon. I think I like that line better now, because then it takes them off play green land for Abrupt Decay, or fetch land to try to find it. So yeah, this leaves them on like basic forest as they're out, I think, if even that. I mean, they're still hitting us for 3 a turn with the Prized Amalgam, but we're going to play Johnny Vengeant next turn and leave one of their lands tapped. Back to the Dredge plan. Okay. I can respect that. Dredge Grave Troll, get Narcomoeba. Attack for 3 with the Prized Amalgam. Put us to 10. This doesn't really matter which mountain I target. So now the opponent has to find an untapped land to be able to attack with the Amalgam, which means they're probably not dredging. I'm correct. I guess a land is pretty good here. It forces us to draw something again. I mean, we're kind of on empty. We're just drawing off the top of our library at this point, so... Oh, and he did draw it. Nice. I guess he's deciding between me and Johnny. Clearly it's a Johnny. Oh, can't attack you unless their controller pays 2. Alright, so Johnny didn't do anything. My bad. Alright, opponent's like, what happened? Why did I not have to pay mana? So I have a Johnny on the board that shouldn't be there. It's not gonna last long though. Maybe I'm supposed to gain life here. Probably. I could flashback Faithless Looting. I don't know how much I care about that. Oh, I guess I can the loyalty anyway. So it should have attacked me for 3 last turn, paid the 2, and then attacked the Johnny with everyone else. So I should be at 7, and Johnny should be dead. Okay, figured it out now. Alright. That is a magic card. Means you need a 4th land to attack me. Otherwise they'll just flashback Faithless Looting. Probably find the land. You really need to draw something to get out of this. So if we draw Boom Bust, that would get us somewhere. Rest in Peace would certainly get us somewhere. Anger of the Gods. Wrath of God. You know, just don't get on the bad side of the gods. Down to 4, should be 1. Hey, there we go. Opponent has 4 lands now, so we're just gonna bust. And that's gonna take us off white, but we have to do it. We shouldn't have played the 2nd plains earlier. Alright, bust. I have to bust. So now it's a long road ahead. Opponent has to get 4 lands out to attack us. It needs to attack us twice. So they'll probably dredge deck more salvage. We have 1 deck more, 2 deck more salvages. Instead they're just drawing. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Kind of. Not an ideal draw step. Now I dredge his salvage. Nope. Wish I had that plains. I'll just rip another one. If Craig Wescoe can't call for a plains when he needs one, I don't know who can. If I can get a plains, potentially Nahiri could race. Potentially. I have 2 in the graveyard. I think I have 8 in the deck. So there's 6 more left in the library. 6 out of 41. So on average it'll take me about 7 draw steps. I don't know if I have that many. Opponent's got 10 cards left in his deck. That is a mountain. Thanks, Blood Moon. Thanks, Obama. Guess I play it. Another boom bust. I'm gonna wait. There it is. Did next turn. Well, that's a trump blocker. Well, I guess Narcomoeba can attack me for one. Death by Narcomoeba. Get to see most of the opponent's deck. 2 Abrupt Decays, Ancient Grudge, Ancient Grudge. They do have Gargadon though. Let's go against Singer. Oh, decided not to come in with Narcomoeba. Give us another draw step. Not really sure what we could draw, but that won't do it. Close game. Both teams played hard. Let's see here. So the fact that Ghostly Prison doesn't protect our planeswalkers is a bit of a disappointment, but it's still good at buying us time. So I still like it in this matchup. It's not quite as good as I hoped it would be. Let's see what I want to board out. Board out another. Blood Moon keeps him off Abrupt Decay. Leyline, that only helps against Conflagrate. Maybe I don't want that. Conflagrate's a big part of the game plan. Dealing with our planeswalkers though. So we have to keep Emrakul in, Chalice. Let's maybe cut one of those. Wrath of God seems good. Wiping out the board. We cut a planeswalker. Johnny leaves stuff tapped, has to attack Gideon. Elspeth is great. Alright, we'll cut it Nahiri. That's a turn 1 Chalice for 1. I like it. They might just F6 their first turn, move to discard and discard a Grave Troll. That's probably their best line against Chalice for 1. Which is pretty reasonable. Brimaz. We're gonna need you to do some work this game, Brimaz. Get the little kitty cat duo, Brimaz into a Johnny. Opponent's like, nah, screw that turn 1 discard. I got better things. Alright. White. Brimaz. King of Wescoe. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, Ancient Grudge. I see. It's all good. Didn't need that anyway. Discarding 2 Grave Trolls. Solid. So, I guess I'll Chalice for 1 again. Because then they could just flashback Ancient Grudge. I could Chalice for 2 to prevent that, but I don't know what else Chalice for 2 counters. It would just counter our Rest in Peace later, so I don't like doing that. Alright, here comes the cat. Meow! Probably block Brimaz, sack, Dredge, Grave Troll. Take 1. This card's Conflagrate. Okay. Finds 2 prized amalgams. No creature to get back with it. It does have Nature's Claim. I think we're supposed to still Chalice for 1 here. Well, not here, because we're inside combat. It's possible we're supposed to just wait until we draw like a Rest in Peace to exile the graveyard and then play the Chalice. But it basically forces them to pay a mana here. We could hold on to it in case we draw a Nahiri. It was just, the Chalice is not doing much for us at this point. I feel like the tempo play is probably the most value we can get out of it at this point. So it didn't dredge a lot, just a bunch of lands. Get 2 prized amalgams, Conflagrate, Ancient Grudge, 2 faithless lootings. As a whole party in the graveyard chooses to play a 1-mana spell instead of flashing back Ancient Grudge. Probably not the optimal line there. Then again, what do I know? Tapping your green source as well, so you can't flash back Grudge. I think we're still, I don't know, it's probably even. I don't think we're behind, I don't think we're ahead. Okay, now I think we're ahead. Now we can tap down your green source so you can't flash back Ancient Grudge. Wow, that was just the error of the century for the opponent there. So let's go filter. The cat duo getting the job done. Not yet, but they're working on it. Dredge, Dackmore, Salvage. Gideon now. Opponent concedes. 3, 4, 5, 6. This goes to 6. I minus the Johnny. And then I can just minus the Johnny next turn. Yep, so dead. It was very costly. Well, okay, so let's say they flashed this back and then played the Neonate. And they can get another Chomp Block in, sack, Dredge. And then we still play the tap their land. And then we can Anger of the Gods, away their stuff, tap with Brimaz for 4, Johnny keep their land tapped, eventually draw land for Gideon. It would have been close, but